What is up, best ones worldwide? It's the best one, DBTV here, back with a brand new video. It is right now 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm actually heading to my job outside of YouTube. But if you're a Brooklyn Nets fan, recommend you to hit that subscribe button now. Turn on the post notifications. Of course, you already know the grind is real. And this morning, I wake up to the news that Kevin Durant has been traded to the Phoenix Suns with TJ Warren for Cam Johnson, Mikal Bridges, Jay Crowder, and 4 unprotected first-round picks from the Phoenix Suns. And I thought the Brooklyn Nets, we would wait until the offseason to make a move for Kevin Durant. And it's crazy to me to see how many Net fans on Twitter really thought Kevin Durant was going to want to stay with the Brooklyn Nets after fucking Kyrie left the team. Why would Kevin Durant want to stay with Ben Simmons? Why would he? That's probably like one reason too why Kyrie and Durant wanted out of Brooklyn. And I'm sure you've definitely seen my jersey burns with Kyrie and Kevin by now. And there's some people that really don't understand why I didn't do it. And there's others that understand why I didn't burn the jersey, because there's more of a problem in Brooklyn than what the media is putting out there for you to see. And I'm telling you guys this right now, the reason why Kyrie Irving left the Brooklyn Nets and why Kevin Durant, left with them, because of our front office. There is lots of issues behind the scenes going on that we're not seeing. And Kyrie Irving, even said it in his press conference with Dallas. And I'm going to be making a video breaking it down even more within the next day or so. I just need more time to process all this. And, the more NBA players come out and talk about it, the more evidence I have to back up my case. And I'm so sad, man, with Kevin Durant leaving the Brooklyn Nets. Honestly, when Kyrie got traded, I felt like Kevin Durant deserved to go to another team, because if there was anybody that, was professional in the big three between Harden, Kyrie, and Durant, it was easily Kevin Durant. This man, he was professional the whole way through. He gave this team everything he had. We were literally Kevin Durant's toe away from winning a fucking championship. I really think if Kevin Durant's friggin' foot wasn't behind that three-point line, we were going to win that game. We were going to go against the Hawks, probably beat them in 5, go into the finals, and kick the Phoenix Suns' ass. But that's not the case at all. We lost, and then, the Milwaukee Bucks ended up winning the championship that year, which I'm not going to get into Giannis. That's, a whole other thing for another day. Not a fan of him. But Kevin Durant, he's 35 years old, and, he had an Achilles injury, and honestly, Kevin Durant deserves to, go for a ring. Especially after giving the Brooklyn Nets everything he had these last 4 years. I think if there's anybody that deserves to get a championship, it's Kevin Durant. All right, because he came to Brooklyn for the right intentions. He wanted to, give a franchise that didn't have a championship a ring. But unfortunately, the person that brought him with him had a lot of issues going on with the Brooklyn Nets. And the reason why Kevin Durant, wasted 4 years in Brooklyn. And with Kyrie Irving, that's the only thing I will call Kyrie out on with the bullshit, is wasting 4 years of Kevin Durant's time and, pretty much putting Kevin Durant's legacy on the line. Wasting 4 years in Brooklyn because, of course, we didn't win a championship out of it. Friggin' we got rid of our young assets. And that's the part that really hurts me more than anything. Man, if Kevin Durant just got traded to the Cavaliers for Jared Allen, I probably would be happy. That's how much I missed the 2018-19 Brooklyn Nets, man. Such a fun team. And when we did the trade for James Harden, I literally was not happy at all about that trade for him. I was actually very disappointed in that move from Sean Marks, because Karis LeVert and Jared Allen, we should have kept them, and we should have continued to, just get free agents and, build around Kyrie and Durant, because especially nowadays with the NBA, that's kind of how, it's really going. All these teams, they have their core pieces, and then, they add, assets, and they keep their young guys. And I think Brooklyn, they put together a big three that literally only played 17 games together, and they should have just kept, their depth. Depth will win you championships. There's a reason why the Warriors, have a dynasty in the NBA. There's a reason why they've won 4 friggin' rings in the last, 8 years. It's, unbelievable. It sucks that, the Brooklyn Nets, we couldn't get the job done with KD and Kyrie. But we didn't expect any of this to happen. If there was anybody that, was professional the whole way through, it was Kevin Durant. And I'm probably, more grateful for Kevin Durant, because I think, he might have not won a ring, but realistically, this man did, save his legacy in some way. And now some of us fans are looking back at those Warrior championships that Kevin Durant won, that we said he got handed. And we're starting to really appreciate that, the Warriors wouldn't have gotten those rings if it really wasn't for Kevin Durant's performances in those finals. He really gave it to LeBron James in those finals. And Kevin Durant, has done a fantastic job in Brooklyn. He's been playing great basketball, and I really hope this man does get a ring with the Phoenix Suns. I really do. And I am a fan of Devin Booker as well, so it'd be cool to see him. And I know, the Brooklyn Nets, when we got rid of Kyrie, I already had my mindset that Kevin Durant was going to leave. But I did not expect all of this. So we get Mikal Bridges, who, I'm very happy to have him on the team. I think he has not missed a game at all in his NBA run. And I think that he's a great, underrated, 3-and-D player. Then we got Cam Johnson. He's a young guy. We have Jay Crowder, who I believe the Brooklyn Nets are going to be trading at the deadline. And we got 4 unprotected first-round picks for him. And here's the part that kind of upsets me. I think that if we waited until the offseason to trade Kevin Durant, we would have gotten a lot more in return. I think 4 unprotected first-round picks is not enough. I think, if Rudy Gobert Rudy Gobert's package, there was more for Rudy Gobert than Kevin Durant. It's clearly something is friggin' wrong here. And I don't care, there's going to be Kevin Durant haters out there saying, oh, Durant is on a super team. Technically, Kevin Durant got traded to this team. So this is not Kevin Durant's fault that friggin' our front office fucking sucks. So those people can honestly go fuck themselves, because it's Sean Marks' fault why Kevin Durant, is on this super team now. And come on now, let's be real. The Phoenix Suns are not a super team, all right? Yes, they have the number 1 pick in DeAndre Ayton. He, is a great role player for the team. Chris Paul, he is aging, not like fine wine anymore. He's starting to regress. And Devin Booker is a superstar. So basically, it's a KD Kyrie situation over there, except Devin Booker doesn't create chaos. But man, I want to, thank Kevin Durant for everything, he tried doing for this franchise. He came to Brooklyn to play with Kyrie and to win a championship here, and Kyrie Irving is the reason that Kevin Durant wasted 4 years of his time. And, with Kyrie, there's a lot of issues with the front office, and I'm going to make a video on it later on and break it all down to you guys. Just trying to, build the evidence up so that I can back up everything I'm saying. I'm really doing my research here, best ones. But when it comes to Kevin Durant, he's one of the greatest, basketball players in the world to wear a Brooklyn Nets jersey, and I'm just going to think about the good times and not his foot behind that three-point line on the three-point line, because we literally would have been champions if, that didn't happen. And I really do wish KD nothing but the very best. When he was a Warrior, I could not stand him. And he came to Brooklyn, and I see why he's why he is a favorite player to a lot of, players' teams. What he did for this organization in the 4 years, was incredible despite not winning a championship. And I can't wait to see, what happens with Kevin Durant next in Phoenix. I think, this is going to be a great run for him. I think having Devin Booker by his side, it's going to be some fun basketball. I think, even Kyrie going to the Dallas Mavericks, that's going to be fun, seeing him and Luka Doncic play together. The Lakers just got D'Angelo Russell, which I think is a perfect fit for LeBron and AD. The NBA is going in a whole nother direction, and I really still think that the Boston Celtics are absolutely stacked, Tatum and Brown. And this is coming from, a Brooklyn Nets fan that lives in the New England area, and I, for one, cannot stand the Boston Celtics. These fans in this area, they give me freaking massive migraine headaches, and I can't stand them. So for me to actually say that the Boston Celtics are good is an understatement. I really think they have everything in the bag to win a championship, and I think the Brooklyn Nets, even if we had KD and Kyrie and we had this roster, we don't have what it takes to beat the Boston Celtics. And now, with the Western Conference stacking up their teams because everybody thinks they have a chance in the Western Conference, I don't think the Brooklyn Nets would have what it takes to win a championship. And I think the best move for us is to just restart with everything. And I praise Sean Marks throughout the years. If you are, a loyal subscriber to the DBTV channel, which if you are, thank you. You guys know firsthand how much I praise Sean Marks for, pretty much fixing everything Billy King did to this franchise when we made that trade for Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, and Jason Terry, and, got rid of all of our future assets to the Boston Celtics, which later would be Tatum and Brown, which we could be in the position that the Boston Celtics were in if we never did that trade years back. But Sean Marks, took this job with no future first-round picks, bad salaries, and literally our best player was Brook Lopez and Thaddeus Young. And he gave us, an underrated gem in Joe Harris, which we're not going to talk about his run now because the man could be getting sent to China for the Shanghai Sharks any day now with Ben Simmons. We had Jared Allen we drafted as a late first-round pick who played incredible for us. And we had, Karis LeVert, who, played great basketball. And then, we got Spencer Dinwiddie as well, which was, a player that, didn't really get NBA minutes. He was playing for, different G League teams. And then we did a low-risk, high-reward thing with not only Joe Harris, but we did it with Spencer Dinwiddie. And he, went out and played some of the best basketball in Brooklyn. And, of course, we made that awesome trade, back in 2017 for D'Angelo Russell. And we took on a bad contract in Timothy Mozgov. We flipped that contract, and we got D'Angelo Russell out of it, and he played his best basketball in a Brooklyn Nets jersey. But, of course, D'Angelo Russell would be a part of a sign-and-trade deal when we got, KD, Kyrie, and DeAndre Jordan. And I'm sorry, but, I think this is more of the owner's fault than Sean Marks' fault. But I do think that Sean Marks, he's over-welcomed to stay in Brooklyn. He did a fantastic job rebuilding this team. And I'm always going to be grateful for what Sean Marks did. But building a championship team, he really fumbled it, I think, when we went out and got, James Harden and formed, that big three that only played 17 games. And you guys know firsthand, I'm a loyal Nets fan. When we were the worst team in the league, when we had Billy King, I was friggin' making videos and, I was getting roasted for being a Brooklyn Nets fan. And it don't matter. I'm loyal to the soil. I'm always going to be riding, for the Brooklyn Nets, black and white all day, no matter what. I'm not going to bandwagon to another team. That's just, that's not how I am. But for now, I'm guess it's going to be a rebuild mode for the Brooklyn Nets, and we're really going to have to see what happens from here on out. I really hope Ben Simmons can, really step up now that Kyrie and KD left. But the more I see this man play, I just keep losing hope for him more and more. And the more I see him in a Shanghai Sharks jersey with Joe Harris. But I will say there's only one thing I'm happy about in this rebuild, is that we got Spencer Dinwiddie back. That's literally all. And Cam Thomas, I'm excited to see what he does. I know he's going to put on some fun performances now that there's, really no restrictions here. I still think the Brooklyn Nets, because of how good we did this season, we will probably make the play-in. I think we're going to be like 8 through 10. That's where we're going to be ranked. And we're going to lose the play-in tournament, but Cam Thomas is going to put on a performance of a lifetime. I'm just curious to see how this rebuild goes and to see what's going to happen next, because I really don't think the Brooklyn Nets were never going to win a championship until friggin' our greedy fucking owner sells this team. I truly think that we're not going to do anything until then. Well, for now, I just hope that we stack up our draft picks and we just wait and see what happens. And hopefully, the Houston Rockets, they continue to be asked to, so that, we don't give them friggin' the number 1 pick that could later be a Tatum or a Brown. But thank you, KD, for, everything you, tried to do for this franchise. You were, the most professional out of, the big three. And one of the best players to ever wear a Brooklyn Nets jersey. I cannot hate on Kevin Durant at all for, what he tried doing for my franchise. I really think, that year, literally, with his, toe behind, if it was behind that line, we probably would not be in this situation, and KD would have a championship. And even if Kyrie, didn't get hurt in that series, I think we friggin' would never even went to Game 7. We would have friggin' whooped the Bucks in 5 or 6. But, it is what it is. I guess, the Brooklyn Nets were back to being the laughingstock of the league. We, one of our, best players literally can't even shoot a basketball. Let alone even, get himself to the free throw line, because the man's afraid to friggin' shoot a basketball. We're back to being the laughingstocks, folks, but at least we have some picks this time around, so we'll see, how this goes.